What's up, y'all? As we all know, this is the Super Soul Warrior Dwan. And tonight I'm coming at you with a different, tone or even a different subject, because this one kind of cuts deep a little bit. Won't mention how this was inspired. I won't mention a person who inspired this, but the thing is this. This is deep, and I think it needs to be addressed in a certain way, and basically I need to speak my heart right now. The word that I'm going to go ahead and express is an old word, and basically I probably should have looked up the year that it was even implemented. But the thing is, it is an old word, and that's very, in a certain way offensive, or it could be looked upon as, I don't know. I really don't know the deepness of it, but the thing of it is, it could really hurt on you. The word that I am expressing at this point in time is uppity. Okay? Uppity. As I looked it up, okay, just to go ahead and not only educate myself further, but at the same time understood what craziness happened behind it. The word uppity, as it is defined in the dictionary, is a self-important, arrogant, or someone who's a snob, or who acts like a pompous know-it-all and deserves to be described uppity. Okay, so basically, that word is just basically saying that you are a person that feels that they are better than everybody else. Ladies and gentlemen, or whoever's listening at this point in time, I got to go ahead and basically explain something real quick. I have been accused of this for more than once within my life, okay? The thing is, someone who's very important to me has said something like this to me, and it really upset me, because it's like, you really don't understand how hard you can hit people with words depending on the situation. Now, if I'm not mistaken, back in the day, all right, if you, this is during segregation, or a little before it, or whatever else. See, within this country, you had black men in general who did not go under the code of what segregation had made within those Jim Crow laws, or even during slavery. When you were a person who threw about yourself that you had self-respect for yourself, and worked under a different manner, that you could read, or you could basically, you seem to be educated a little more than the average slave, or the supposedly average black person, you were called uppity. If you had some type of self-respect, if you walked around and didn't do as a lot of people that were black in certain neighborhoods, and you didn't follow within that trend, you were known as uppity. And it wasn't only white people throwing this phrase at you. It was black people who was throwing this phrase at you. And my whole point is, you had people who saw you wasn't going within the status quo of what was going on, you were named Uppity. Now, let me explain something to you. For many years, I have lived my life a bit of an outsider. Even in the bad neighborhood that I grew up in, I was looked upon differently. And I was looked upon differently because I had a 2-parent household where nobody understood. There was a lot of stuff going on in there at the same time. But beyond all of that, I didn't do a lot of the things that a lot of other cats did. And then beyond all of that, I didn't have some of the problems that some of the other kids did or whatever else. Especially even after I got older, I didn't have like the baby mama drama at 16 or whatever else. I didn't have or still don't have a long list of prison sentences. I wasn't one of those guys who was known in the street for doing this low stuff. Listen, my whole thing is I never said that I was better than anybody or any situation, because the main thing is I do understand my color. I do understand how this country kind of still sees me, not even as a human being in certain instances. But at the same time, I understand that I am a person who has his views and all these other things. And when we attach labels to people flippantly, I think it's a problem, and it angers me. But at the same time, it is not one of them type of deals that I lose sleep over it, because the main thing is I know who I am. But my whole point of even throwing this recording is to basically just throw out there is that you cannot just go ahead and say stuff to people and believe that it's okay to just do it. Because sometimes when you just go ahead and say whatever you feel about a person and everything like that, there are repercussions. Sometimes there are repercussions. But this being called uppity, it just really pees me off, because think about it like this. What is really uppity? Being uppity is it possibly not being used to an environment that you're supposedly being told you should be used to. See, I grew up in a neighborhood that at any time, somebody could get killed, shot, somebody could get beat up, somebody could, anything can happen whatsoever. What's crazy about it is that a really cool night's sleep without gunshots being shot out of your window and everything like that, when I got that is when I joined the Army. When I joined the military was some of the most peaceful sleep that I had ever gotten, because I didn't have to worry about somebody coming, shooting somebody on the street, and that has to be used as a lullaby to put me asleep. The first night that I went to my first duty station, it was hard for me to sleep, because the thing is, I was wondering what is going on. I'm in my bed, I'm chilling, I'm up here trying to figure this out. I'm looking around, and I was like, what is wrong with this? And the bottom line was, it was quiet. All I had was sheets and an air conditioner on me at the same time, but at the same time, it was quiet. And I wasn't used to that. Regardless of the fact, when someone is called uppity, I think it's horrible to even say that, because the thing is, I've gained a custom of a lifestyle that I don't have to worry about that type of stuff. I don't have to, thankfully, not worry about getting robbed. I don't have to have my kids in the street and worry that they're going to go ahead and get shot off by somebody who had a whole different agenda for that day. I don't have drug dealers at the corners of my street right now. I don't have prostitutes in the alley. I don't have anything to worry about in that fashion. And I'm not saying on a military post that I don't have things to worry about as a person or whatever else. But at the same time, there are things that I don't have to deal with. Thankfully. And now, as my career comes down to a close, nearing to a close, I have to go ahead and figure some other things out. In the hopes that after I retire, that I won't have to go into a neighborhood that's messed up, that I have to worry about looking over my shoulders and rolling with anxiety on a daily basis. If any of you have an idea of walking up and down a street and worried if you're going to make it that day, if you're going to make it that day. I'm not saying that I was one of those type of people that was like what you see in the movies, or I had skin in the game or whatever else. But sometimes you can be just an innocent bystander and get messed up. I'm thankful for the 44 years that I have had so far. This year I will be 45. And I'm going to tell you this, man. It is far better, the life I'm living now. The things I don't have to worry about. I can leave my garage open and not worry about it being robbed. It's just certain things that I'm used to right now. And then all of a sudden, it's certain things I just don't do. I try to be a decent person, try to go ahead and work out, try to go ahead and eat healthy, try to go ahead and enrich in my mind and do different things to go ahead and improve myself as a person. You know, back in the day, when you did that type of stuff, you had like white people calling you uppity, and they would use the N-word as they went along with that, because you didn't go with the status quo. You didn't go with what was going on within the time of this country. I guess I'm going to continue on with that tradition. To be a person who wants to go ahead and live a good life, and doesn't matter what other people feel, think, or say about that. And if I'm known as uppity, then F you. Okay, cool. I will roll with that. But at the same time, I'm going to do what I do because I'm loved and approved, and I don't have to prove anything to anybody. All I have to do is live my life as in the best form as I can. This is the Super Soul Warrior, Warrior Dwan, and I'm out.